Hey everyone, Sam from United People's TV. It's Friday, it's press conference day, and we're here just to chat to you about what Louis van Gaal has been saying in his press conference ahead of the Crystal Palace game. Now, first up, injury news. We've got Memphis Depay and James Wilson both picked up injuries against Borough. Now, we all knew that Wilson picked up one because he went off after 45 minutes, and I presumed that Memphis went off because he wasn't playing good enough, but it looks like he may have picked up an injury. Me being cynical, I'm looking at that saying, is that Van Gaal just protecting his player and taking him out of the limelight because he was crap in that first 45 minutes, let's be honest. He did improve in the second half, came into it a little bit more, but Memphis is just not been the player everyone hoped at this stage, and I don't know what's going to switch it for him. You know, I hope those two cracking goals he scored against Bruges in the qualifier for the Champions League would have been the platform for him to accelerate, but it didn't do anything. He just sort of humbled along, and he's still not really lighting the stage up, especially in comparison to Anthony Martial, he's just gold right now. So maybe some time out of the spotlight won't do him any harm, but you know he's been on the bench for the past few games, and then he did that against Borough. I don't really know what's going on with Memphis, but still very early doors. Everyone's going to be patient with him. He will be a top player. Just needs time. And as for James Wilson getting an injury, that's really, really unlucky. He's been waiting all season for his chance and gets injured after 45 minutes after playing crap. Unlucky James. Hopefully it's not a big injury though, because we do need some striking options up front, given that Wayne Rooney can't even hit a barn door right now. Paddy McNair and Antonio Valencia are out as well. We already knew that. So Matteo Darmian should come in at right back. Happy about that. Much prefer Darmian and Mata on the right wing to Valencia and Mata. Valencia doesn't offer enough going forward. Next main point, we've got Van Gaal has been talking about Scholes. As everyone knows, Scholes is very vocal, and he's not afraid to criticise Van Gaal or United, and he's been doing both this week, saying that he wouldn't like to have played under Van Gaal. He's saying that United are playing boring football. He's probably not wrong in a lot of his criticism, but Van Gaal doesn't like it. He said that he's not listening to it. He said, you know, sticks and stones may break my bones. Some sort of crap he's coming out with Van Gaal. But Van Gaal is a very, very stubborn man. Everyone knows that. His philosophy or no philosophy, that's the way it goes. I think some of Scholes' criticism has been fair. I think United have been playing dull football, but it's how it works with Van Gaal. That he's very happy if his team is in control of a game. That's what's most important to him, I feel. He's told Scholes that he should go and talk to Giggs or Woodward, or he's trying to even insinuate that Scholes is getting paid by the BBC or Sky to say things. Either way, Scholes is fair in some of his criticism. Some of it may be a little bit too harsh, and something that I don't like about Scholes right now, something that I will criticise, is I don't know why Scholes is still defending Rooney, saying that people aren't passing to him properly. Wake up and smell the coffee, Scholes. Rooney is playing crap right now, and the only person to blame is Rooney. End of story. He's a captain. Who cares if no one's not passing to him? Run and get the ball then, Rooney. You're the captain, mate. Leave it out. Moving on next. Van Gaal again, he's doing his own rebuttal to comments. He's saying that the football he's playing is entertaining and he does take risks. Might disagree again with that one, Van Gaal. Sometimes he takes risks, yes. It's all calculated with Van Gaal. He's like an accountant. He won't do anything unless it's on the straight and narrow in his plan. I wouldn't say he's a spontaneous manager, and the football's not spontaneous. The football's very predictable. But if it's predictable and it works, it's very, very solid. Look at that game against Everton. Sat deep and hit them on the counter. That's predictable for an away team, but they executed it very, very well. And that's it. If you can be mundane and dull if you execute your plan correctly. Problem is, United right now are mundane and dull, and they can't score. So that's why it's getting this criticism. I mean, honestly, if we had finished our chances against Borough, we would not have gone to penalties. We had so many opportunities to score, but we just didn't. That's got nothing to do with Van Gaal's tactics. That's to do with the fact that Martial missed, Fellaini missed, Pereira missed. Players themselves missed their chances. That's got nothing to do with Van Gaal telling them where to play or what to do. When you're a striker and you've got an opportunity to score and you miss, it's your fault. So leave it out on that front. And something that Van Gaal has also said, just a final point here, this one sounds like a PR comment to me. He said he'll do everything for the fans because they are unbelievable. Van Gaal, I would say that there's starting to get murmurs in the wider press, nothing to do with the United fan base, but the wider press is starting to question Van Gaal. I would say United fans are questioning Van Gaal, but only from a point of view where we've got 2 0-0s in a row, and I think the questions are fair. There's nothing deeper than that at the moment. No one's saying Van Gaal out. No one's saying that Van Gaal's got to change X, Y, and Z. Van Gaal does have to, probably drop Rooney, please, Wayne, please drop Rooney. But the criticism for Van Gaal is, I think it's because United have seen what we've done against Everton. Why can't we do that every week? What was so different from that Everton game that we couldn't repeat it against City and we couldn't repeat it against Borough? It's the inconsistency that's driving the insanity at the moment. If United were consistently shit, then people would probably just be moaning because we're consistently shit. But the fact is that we can look at a team one week and then we can see a different team playing 4 days later. And it's the frustrations of why United not playing like that every single week. I think that's at the core of all this criticism that's coming out towards Van Gaal, his philosophy and his style of football. Now, I think this Palace game, if they don't have Johan Cabaye, which by the sounds of it, he could be injured, we've got to be getting 3 points there. I mean, they got spanked by City. They're in a bit of a rut at the moment after a few losses, and United haven't lost against Palace in the Premier League ever since 1990, since back in Cantona days. Now, obviously, there's a first time for everything. I think Moyes showed that when he broke like 7 or 8 of the wrong records. But United must be confident going into this Palace game. Our defence is very strong, and as long as that defence stays strong, we only need to take 1 or 2 chances up front. And if you've got Anthony Martial on your team, that can happen. Just please play him up front against Palace. That's it for a press conference reaction. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about what you think about what Van Gaal said. Do you think he should be taking this criticism on board, or do you think he's stubborn in all the right ways? As I said, let me know, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, after 3 points. Take it easy, guys. You can see we've launched a new look, and to celebrate this new look, we are giving away a signed Wayne Rooney Player Edition shirt.